On this episode of Eat, Sleep, Drive, I buy a Land Cruiser, drive it 2,400 miles, and end up in beautiful Colorado. Good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Eat, Sleep, Drive. And we're here at the airport. It wasn't less than 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, that I was on my way to Florida to pick up my 335, and now it's time to go pick up another car. This time it's a Land Cruiser. And if you guys follow my channel, you know that I had one earlier, sold it earlier in the year, and regretfully so, obviously, because now I'm getting another one. I'll go into all the details as to why I sold it and the details about this one, but we're checking in here at CVG Airport, and I've already dropped my camera and broken my lens. So it's not the best start ever, but we're gonna make the best out of it. Why don't you come along for the ride? I had been wanting to replace my 100 series Land Cruiser with a rust-free example ever since I sold my last one. Recently, one popped up in Oklahoma City, and it checked all the right boxes. It had an impeccable service history. It had spent its entire life in the South without salt. Oh, and did I mention it had 255,000 miles on it? I decided to fly to Oklahoma City to buy it, but I figured while I was out here, why not make a trip out of it? So I devised a plan where I bought the car and then drove it even further west to Colorado to take it off-roading. Waiting for the Land Cruiser to arrive. The previous owner is going to pick me up. We're going to go for a quick test drive, and then hopefully everything is good and we can continue on to Colorado. There it is. We bought a Land Cruiser. Here it is. The guy that I bought it from didn't want to be on camera. Totally understand that, but now we have a Land Cruiser just in time for a trip to Colorado. Here it is. We are in Oklahoma right now. I bought the car in Oklahoma City. It spent all its life in Texas and Oklahoma. So it is super rust free, which is what I wanted most. It's gonna be hard to see down in there, but my last Land Cruiser that I had was all rusty up under here and on the back tailgate, amongst other places. But overall, it's in really good shape. It's got a few bumps and bruises, which is just fine by me because I won't feel bad when I am off-roading it. But overall, it's been driving great. I've probably put 100 miles on it now. I'm still in Oklahoma, and drives true and straight, super comfortable. It's definitely way nicer than my 2000. My last Land Cruiser was a 2000, and they made a bunch of different improvements. This has like a 5-speed transmission instead of a 4. They upgraded the engine, it has a little more power. Overall, the car just feels smoother, and I'm very happy about it. Hopefully it stays reliable, but here's what the plan is, guys. We are going to drive this all the way to Colorado and do the Alpine Loop. It's basically one of those trails in the US that's on my bucket list. A lot of people say it's maybe one of the best off-road trails in the US. And we're gonna do Engineer Pass. I'm gonna meet up with a friend of mine, Adam, who unfortunately is a Jeep guy, but you know, we do what we can. So we're gonna meet up with him and yeah, just have like a really good trip. So why don't you guys come along? I'll update you along the way about everything that's going down, and we're just gonna enjoy this beautiful 100-degree day. I didn't get out of Oklahoma City till about 1 p.m. So today my goal was to get to Albuquerque, New Mexico, so I could be in good shape to get to Colorado the next day. As I was driving, I had a lot of time to think about how the car would do off-road. I'm a little bit concerned about a couple things. Number one, you know, it's just on like street tires. They fortunately have good depth, which is good, but I'm not sure how well they're gonna handle rocks and whatnot. Speaking of rocks, you know, got the mall crawler stock running boards on there. I guess they're just gonna protect my under tray a bit this weekend. I mean, if I bounce them off rocks, like, it's not a big deal. As I traveled further west, the terrain definitely started to change. Made it to the hotel, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Place I didn't really think I would be. Let's go check in. 13 hours of traveling has me pretty knackered, so probably get some food, have a beer, crash. The next morning, I was eager to get going since this would be the day I actually make it to Colorado. But before I left, I needed to do some shopping for stuff that I couldn't take on the plane. Just got done at my least favorite place in the world, Walmart, and got some various items for camping. A lot of food and a sleeping bag so I don't die. It's supposed to get down pretty cold in the mountains, go figure, and I'm certainly going to be comfortable. I bought this nice pillow. We're going to head north to Durango first and check Durango out, and then we'll eventually get up in the mountains. With the car in my possession and some great scenery, I was in high spirits. Well, we just entered Colorado, and it's so funny how everything changes at the state line. Like, it's just kind of like a different terrain already. But you can kind of see over here, see those peaks? Rocky Mountains, here we come. I stopped in Durango for some food and libations, but carried on so I could get to the camp spot in the Rockies. I'm filling my rig up for what feels like already the 1 millionth time, and there's gonna be 1 million more. Where that comes from. I'm gonna try and stay at just like a primitive camp spot and with like in the car. That's why I bought all that stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully there's space. This is a holiday weekend, so if there's not space, it could be a little dicey. But let's get some fuel and then see if we can find a camp spot. Well, this is pretty lucky. So it's a holiday weekend, and I was concerned about this, but basically every site here is full except for one, and I got the last one. So I don't even know what campground we're at. San Juan National Forest, wherever that is. I got the last camp spot, so let's go check out the spot itself. Well, here she is. Here's the camp spot. Not bad. Last one in the park. Gonna catch some Z's early tonight and get up early tomorrow and do what everyone's been waiting for, you and I, and that is the Engineer Pass Alpine Loop. Tomorrow that's gonna be pretty epic. I'm gonna call it for tonight, guys. Good morning. It went from super beautiful to kind of rainy, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen today, like how sketchy these trails are gonna be in the rain. Could make it interesting. That's my alarm. Time to get up.
You'll notice another car showed up late in the night, and that's my buddy Adam. He lives in Colorado and was kind enough to come and make sure I didn't die on this trip.
Sleeping arrangements.
Today was finally the big day. We were going to do a portion of the Alpine Loop called Engineer Pass. We headed north to pick up the trail at a little town called Silverton, Colorado. It was finally time to hit the dirt.
All the way up there. That's where we're going.
In the mountains, the weather changes in a heartbeat. It went from sunny to snowing just like that.
That was a flash.
Yeah.
It's legit snowing now.
Some of these high shelf roads were super sketchy. If you go off, there's several thousand feet before you hit anything.
So we're at the top of Engineer Pass right now. Gonna be heading down this windy road here. You can see that Jeep heading down, that's where we're going. There's so many goats over there. Are they always together like that? I feel like
That's a herd.
whenever I've seen them, there's only like a couple.
That might be sheep. By this point, it was pretty late in the day, and we had only eaten breakfast. Fortunately, Adam doesn't mess around when it comes to food.
Grill master. That's the setup right there. If only you had a table.
It's too lazy to get it.
The trail that we were on ended at Lake City, Colorado. I was sad to be leaving this area of Colorado. I'd never seen such beautiful trails before. It was well worth the trip. Fortunately, I still had one day left of off-roading, but that was several hours northeast, so we hit the road looking for a camp spot.
Basically did half of the Alpine Loop and went the Engineer Pass way. Unfortunately, not really going to get to do the Cinnamon Pass portion. Just unfortunately running out of time. There's never enough time, right? I at some point need to get back to Ohio. So what the plan is tonight is to start heading in the direction of Denver. That way it'll put me in a decent situation tomorrow to still do a little bit of off-roading in the morning and then hit the road pretty hard in the afternoon and try and make some miles up in an effort to get back to Ohio. So not sure where we're going to camp tonight, whether we're going to do another U.S. Forest Service place or if we're going to do just pull off a road somewhere and set up camp, but we'll see how it goes. It's been an absolutely beautiful day. You know, there's a little rain and snow mixed in there, but absolutely beautiful, and it's just gorgeous right now. Wonderful temperature. It's like 64 degrees outside. So looking forward to another night camping out in beautiful Colorado.
As we drove into the night, every campground that we stopped at was full, so eventually we gave up and found the closest trail with a pull-off.
We finally found a camp spot. It's about 10:15 right now. So I'm just gonna download all my footage here to the computer, hit the bed, maybe have myself a peanut butter jelly sandwich. We'll see you guys in the morning. Just packed up camp from a really cool little spot on the top of this mountain here. I think this is just some US Forest Service road, and I guess you can primitive camp anywhere along it that there's like pull-offs. Like obviously you can't go off the trail because that's very much frowned upon. It was a nice little remote spot, and even though we arrived at night and couldn't see shit, it made for a fantastic view in the morning. Now we're gonna grab some food and then hit a couple trails before I start my journey back to Ohio.
The highlight of today was a trail near Vail called McAllister Gulch. It was definitely more challenging than the day before, but nothing really prepared us for what happened next. We came across a side-by-side that had been flipped over. We tried to help them push it over, but the thing was just too damn heavy. So the owner of the side-by-side hooked the winch up to a tree in an attempt to right-side it. When the tree fell over, it hit two people. The guy in the blue was fine, but unfortunately the woman in the gray hoodie, the passenger in the side-by-side, got her finger broken from the tree falling on it. It was apparent she needed to get to the hospital quickly. We did what we could with the first aid kits in our vehicles and got their vehicle right-sided, sending them back on their way.
Fuck me. That was crazy. Be careful out there, people. Don't stand in the path of a tree when you're winching off of it. Man, that was something. I hope that lady's okay. Her finger was in a bad way. Fortunately, she had her helmet on, and I think it protected her enough. She didn't seem to have like concussion symptoms or anything, but her finger, it was in a bad way.
The mood was a bit somber after what had just happened, but we still had a lot of ground to cover before I could head home, so we soldiered on. Things were looking up again. That was until we found out the last half mile of the trail was through a rocky creek bed that really wasn't made for stock vehicles.
All right, this is about to get super dicey. This creek bed is super sketchy. Getting Adam's lifted Jeep through was a little bit of a rock stacking adventure. So it's gonna be interesting. Here we go.
Well, you good? You good? Yep, you're fine. Gonna come up on that rock. Nope.
I'm sure it doesn't look bad on video, but it took us hours to get through here. Without Adam, I never could have made it. We used rocks, logs, and even sticks, whatever it took to get through. The other major problem was that there were people on ATVs coming through as well, so we'd have to try and find a way to shimmy the vehicles over to not hold them up so they could get through. It was very nerve-wracking.
I like it. Holy shit. Tell me this is it. Tell me this is the end. Please be a regular road. Please be a regular road. Oh my God. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Oh my God.
Congratulations.
Dude. Oh my God, my heart, like, fuck.
You made it.
Oh my God, dude, thanks so much for your help. Fuck.
That's what I'm here for.
How, I mean, I didn't pay attention when we got in there, but that had to be like 2 hours, right? Oh my God.
Between the tree incident and the creek bed, my timeline was shot. I was originally wanting to leave by noon, and it was now about 6 p.m. Needless to say, we hit this forest road hard so we could find pavement soon.
Asphalt! Oh man.
Once we found the highway, we stopped at the first gas station to air back up our tires. And then, sadly, it was time for me to leave.
Adam, thanks so much, dude. Thanks for guiding. It's been real. He lives in Denver, so he's going home. I'm hitting the road. And gonna try and get a chunk of driving as much out for the remainder of today as I can. Unfortunately, it's already 5 o'clock. So I'm thinking probably drive for 4 or 5 hours. Maybe more if I feel good about it, but I think it's 17 or 18 hours back to Cincinnati total. So I got one more day after today to get back, and I really don't want to be driving like 15 fucking hours home tomorrow. So I'll do what I can today.
I won't bore you with the long, agonizingly flat drive back to Cincinnati, but it gave me a lot of time to reflect on the trip. I've always wanted to go off-roading in Colorado, and it's always been a case of not really wanting to drive 20 hours out there only to have to drive 20 hours back. But at the end of the day, I realized how sometimes you just have to do it. It's so easy to make excuses, but think about all the cool stuff you'll miss if those excuses prevent you from doing something great. Go have an adventure, however small or big it is.
We made it. I'm home, finally. Land Cruiser on my property, 2,477 miles. That was the total from when I bought the car. I reset the trip till pulling in my driveway. Pretty remarkable considering the car now has 258,000 miles on it,
and I drove it all over Colorado, off-road, all that stuff, and it made it without any hiccups. These things are amazing. If that's not a testament to Toyota and the Land Cruiser specifically, I don't know what is. Also, shout out to Michelin. These Michelin Defenders kind of surprised me. One thing I don't think I showed in the video is we actually found a nail in one of these tires. I think it might be this one actually, right in the tread, and that was at the beginning before any off-roading or anything, and these things held up. Pretty sketchy overall, but hey, we're here, we made it. I never doubted this thing for a second. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can check me out on Instagram in between videos every Friday on my channel. My Instagram is Eat Sleep Drive TV. So check me out on there, and we hope to see you on the next episode of Eat Sleep Drive. See you guys.